On today's show, from the Queen Vic to the Queen of the Music Hall, Jessie Wallace is here with her all singing, all dancing new role. Also on the website, you've guessed it, gm.tv. There we are. Now, would you believe it's over 18 months since we last saw her as Cat Slater in EastEnders? Can't believe it's been that long. But Jessie Wallace has gone back to the East End, but it's for her all singing and all dancing new role as Marie Lloyd.
Suppose it makes you fat, oh, don't worry over that, 'cause a little of what you fancy does you good.
You can't sing that to her.
She fell asleep after the first verse. I'm sending my audience to sleep.
Oh, look. I think she's got my nose.
Oh, Percy, you shouldn't even joke about things like that.
There we are, Jessie's here now, and that's all about Marie Lloyd.
Yeah.
Famous sort of music hall artist, I suppose,
Yeah.
the first big superstar,
She was, yeah. She was born in 1870 and died in 1922, and she first performed in the music hall in 1887.
Wow.
And she was the biggest music hall performer of her time.
Yeah, she was Madonna.
She was,
I suppose, she would be. She would be.
She would.
What was it about this that attracts you? Because it's a tough role. You've got to sing, you've got to dance, do a naughty scene as well.
Yes.
Very well done, I have to say. Very convincing. But, you know, there's a lot in there. Was that why that you wanted to go for it?
Yeah, well, the Hat Trick Productions mentioned Marie Lloyd, and I sang The Boy I Love Is Up in the Gallery to them, and they thought it was a good idea, and I'd done some research on her, and I just found her so fascinating and such a huge character, and that's why I wanted to do it.
No, for sure. The thing about it as well was, you know, apart from that, the huge star, she had all that came with it. She had all the kind of tabloid attention, and I had no idea that went on even then.
No, I didn't either. I was really shocked.
Like her whole life, you know, because she had a wild old life, you know, a couple of divorces and all of that, and young toy boys at the end and everything. She was very ahead of her time, actually.
She was very ahead of her time.
when you think about it.
She stepped on a few people's toes.
Yes, and didn't mind doing that. And also what I really liked about it, and you really do deal with that in the drama, is how she stuck up for like the sort of people underneath, you know, people underneath her. She stuck up for the underdog.
Yeah, there was a huge music hall strike, and she supported that.
Yeah, signing cheques of her own.
Yeah, she did. Apparently, she bought shoes for the whole of the children in Hoxton.
Wow. No wonder people loved her then. You know,
They really loved her, yeah.
The sort of working man and working women that would fork out their money to go to the halls and see her absolutely adored her. You look good. You look as if you had real good fun doing this. Had you been doing
man?
It's good. Had you been doing like sort of, have you done singing, dancing, all of that before? Or was this the first?
This is the first time, yeah.
Jeez, if you're going to go for it, I suppose you're going to go for it.
I really enjoyed it.
No, I bet you did. You can tell that you did, actually.
Yeah.
Absolutely tell that you did. So the whole thing, the whole sort of story of Marie Lloyd, did you feel any affinity with her in some ways? Because you've been through a lot as well. You know,
yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot of, you know, parallels there, as people say, you know. So, yeah, I could, you know, that's why I warmed to her, I think, and that's why I suppose I enjoyed playing her so much, because there was a lot of coincidences, you know, so...
No, absolutely. And the thing is, something like EastEnders, massive, huge, you're in everybody's living room, and then you decide, well, you know, you've done that, you want to move on to something else. That's actually quite scary, because you've got to get it right, haven't you? The next project has got to be right. And of course, I suppose that the one that we saw you was in a class apart.
Yeah.
Now, did you actually have a bit of nightmares thinking, what am I going to do next? I've got to make sure it's the right thing.
Well, the BBC really looked after me. John York, you know, he got me this project, and, you know, I was lucky to have Tony Grounds that wrote The Class Apart. So I had, you know, I've got people looking after me. So you know, that's why.
That's really good to have that, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know, it is that big risk of leaving a soap, especially after like 6 years, and you know, you can go one way or the other for, especially when you know a big character like Cat.
Sure.
So I've been lucky.
No, it's great. No, it really is. And then doing this, which is so different.
I know, it really is different.
She's from the East End, but I mean, it's a complete. Couldn't be. It's light years away. Couldn't be more different. And I think that's actually the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And very brave to do all the singing yourself and doing all the dancing yourself. But she wasn't what you would call a sort of classical singer. She sold the song beautifully, didn't she? That was the thing. She actually sold it, which is what you do.
She made them all her own. She'd buy these songs, and you know, she'd put her own little, you know, sexy innuendos in it and stuff. And you know, she'd sing it posh or she'd sing it Cockney. Yeah. So I had so much fun doing it because I could change it in that way.
No, that's for sure. And some of the lyrics, you think back in those days. I mean, every generation thinks they've invented sex, don't they? But you look back to that century, really naughty.
Very naughty.
Oof,
you should do it with a winks. so you know, to let you know that she is being
exactly, and
rude.
it was done with that kind of thing, which is what we like. What about the costumes? Did you like wearing all those?
I love the
bustles.
costumes.
Very feminine, aren't they?
At first, I found them quite uncomfortable, but after a while, you know, your body starts to get used to them.
Yeah.
And it just gives you a nice, you know, small waist, and then when you take it off, it's like,
exactly, and the bosoms, the great big bosoms, which is lovely. Now, what age is your wee girl now? Because I was just thinking...
She's 2.5.
So she's probably a wee bit too young to be watching this.
I know,
isn't she?
she's watched it. I mean, she kept hearing me singing the tunes around the house, and she wasn't too happy, but when she saw it on the TV, she loved it.
Ah, it's good.
She really did.
Tallulah, is that her name?
Tallulah,
Tallulah. I like that name. It's really cute.
Tallulah.
And everything's fine. Oh, for goodness sake, can you see that, guys? Look at that. There you are, proof of love. And the thing about that one is, you never have to take that off, because she's never going to change her name. It's not like a boyfriend. You know the way that you get a boyfriend, get rid of that one, and get another one, and get another one. But you're happy now, everything's settled,
Yeah,
you're fine.
really happy,
Good.
yeah.
I'm really glad to hear
Thank
it.
you.
I really, really am. Because we love you in EastEnders. It was such a... Gosh, she was a big lass, wasn't she? A big character.
She
you know,
was,
to do
yeah.
somebody like that.
She was very colourful, really good fun to play. And the last scene that I did, where I took all the makeup off in the toilet, and then I left, I was crying so much because I thought I'm really going to miss playing her.
For sure. Thing is, the door's not shut.
No, it hasn't, so I'm lucky there as well.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? You never say never. It could be that perhaps even just for a one-off. You just don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I have no plans, but you know, I want to do as many projects as I can. I'd love to do theatre. So
was that the next thing you'd like to do?
I'd love to, yeah.
Have you got anything in mind, or is it still just all kind of?
I think Marie Lloyd would be good on the stage.
Do you know it would? It absolutely
Yeah.
would. Now, it's actually on BBC 4.
BBC 4.
But I would be shocked and amazed. That's tonight at 9 o'clock on BBC 4. But I'd be amazed if they don't pop that on BBC 1 or BBC 2.
Hopefully they will.
They should really, you know, so that more people can see it. Because although lots of folk know it's on, it just would be so much better if it was. It reminds me of a programme that I absolutely love, the series called Tipping the Velvet.
Yeah. The way it's shot.
got that beautiful... You know, it's almost dreamlike sometimes the way it's been shot. But
and you have the showman as well that steps in and out of it.
Yeah.
And James Horse, the director, he was so fantastic. And I mean, the way it's shot is really beautiful.
It is gorgeous, actually. It looks more expensive than I'm sure it was.
The budget was really tiny, so for the budget, I think everyone has just made such a fantastic job. All the cast is brilliant.
Oh, it's fantastic. Well, look, we wish you all the best with it. So on tonight, as I said, BBC 4. At 9 o'clock tonight. Good luck with your next project.
Thank you.
And it's lovely to see you.
And you.
Nice to see you with sort of, not the cat makeup on. You know, I like that makeup. You look lovely.
Okay, thank you.
Still to come, our panel are standing by with the last